Everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Krista here doing the weekly reading for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Thank you so much for sticking with me after taking last week off. I am feeling much better, and I'm so glad that you're here with me. This is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the October 24th through to the 31st. The last couple of weeks I was looking at doing your readings under the umbrella of healing, and after some contemplation this weekend, I was trying to figure out where to go next. So I've decided on hidden strengths. So this week's reading is going to be concerning Sagittarian, Sun, Moon, and Rising hidden strengths. So this basically just means that there are options or opportunities that are available to you that the cards will help introduce, or if you've been headed in a certain direction and you just need clarification or verification in order to keep moving in that direction. Hopefully you'll find this helpful. So this is a general reading for your sign. Whatever is most prominent in your life this week, you can apply these messages to, and I'm sure you'll find them helpful in healing. So what does Sagittarius need to know this week about hidden strengths? All right, so just a little snapshot of what's going on here regarding hidden strengths for you, Sagittarius. It looks like a leap just needs to be made. It could amount to some conflict or strife. If that were to occur, this is a very interesting little read for you in terms of hidden strengths here. Basically, you're surrounded by a sense of fulfillment, of nirvana. You're keen to take charge here. You're making a decision. One step is before the other, but it could lead you into territory that you don't want to necessarily be in. So I'm going to suggest that this week, for the time being anyway, that if there is a move to make in a certain direction, that you maybe sit on it a little bit more, or that you contemplate the action before making a move, unless you already anticipate that chaos and conflict could be an element of it being successful, and it could very well do that. Sometimes finishing or starting a project, for example, or making a move here or a decision that's right for you might upset somebody else, and that's just life, right? It might upset somebody else. But if you were unaware that that might be occurring, or if you don't want that to be a probable outcome, I'm going to suggest that perhaps you sleep on it this week, or maybe do some pros and cons list around taking a certain action this week with regard to a decision that you feel needs to be made right now. And of course, with regard to hidden strength, we're looking at one of two options here: either forging ahead, knowing that this will probably be the outcome, and then holding your own, putting your foot down, trusting yourself that you can withstand the backlash, so to speak. Or the other element here is that the hidden strength could be that you could temper yourself and not make a move this week, even if you feel pressured, or even if it's already underway, which is another way to read this as well, since this is an influence position to your central position. So Sagittarius, I will suggest here, if you're under pressure to make a decision here, or to act on something here, like to actually make a physical move here, and you're uncomfortable with it, I'm going to suggest that you hold back this week at least. So here with the fork in the road being your central card, this is really just the process of making a decision, understanding that a change needs to be made, something needs to be switched up, goals, outcomes, ideas, maybe the whole gamut, maybe everything you're involved in. And again, whatever is most prominent in your life this week, this is what I'm going to suggest this is touching on. So it could be a work or relationship or even travel or school, as in, which discipline you're involved in right now. It could be an art project. So whatever is sort of in your head and your heart when you're hearing this is what I'm going to suggest it's related to. So this is just really knowing that a decision needs to be made. You need to step out of a comfort zone here. It could feel new, and there could be sort of that worry feeling, but it could also be exciting. It could also be very enlivening, even invigorating here. So there could be a lot of energy that's generated here through the action card, that you're feeling energized by this. But there's something here that's, saying, and you may even be resistant or second guessing something here because of a probable or a possible fallout that may or may not be long term. Again, it's something that you'll need to assess for yourself here. Perhaps you've already planned for this, like I said at the start, and it's just part of moving ahead, and this is what you planned for, and it's totally okay. If this isn't something that you have planned for or something that you didn't, say, account for when you were doing your lists or creating your project or making that move here, so to speak, it could be that you'll need to sit on this for a little bit longer just to protect yourself or just to give yourself a little bit more space in order to decide what kind of outcome you really want, or if this is the week for this type of outcome for you. Two major themes here in the card, of course, are the owl. We've got the barn owl here. So we're looking at elements of wisdom. There's something that's sort of picking at you or gnawing at you, or that little voice in your head. Maybe there's just something, in your stomach, your intuition is saying, something's off, or perhaps you have butterflies about something and they're not the good ones. They're the, oh gosh, what's this gonna do? How's this gonna work out? Sort of butterflies, as opposed to I'm excited about this. So we're looking at issues of wisdom and knowledge here, probably occult or ancient knowledge. And then we're looking at diversion, issues of diversion, feeling that you're being pulled in different directions that aren't yours, right? This is a rhesus monkey in I believe it is a mask. It's like a bird's mask. So yeah, basically they're trying to create an illusion here, right? And you could be doing it for yourself. You could be trying to get out of this situation or out of this discussion or out of this outcome, and you can divert. If that's how you need to get around this, you can use diversion to your own benefit. This week, just make sure that you do it with a long-term plan, okay? You don't want to work under the banner of illusion or diversion for the long term here, but if you think it'll save your butt, or if you're trying to get away from making a permanent decision here, particularly because an action has probably already been taken here, you could be a little bit playful about it and maybe a little bit flippant or irreverent, as it were, and it could save you a little bit of grief this week. So but definitely keep your wits about you, keep your humor about you. Here's where I'm seeing an action has probably already been taken, or something is already underway here with regard to a decision, or a process going in a specific direction. Of course, this is yang. Its sister card is yin. This is literally the other side to the ancient symbol, the Chinese symbol, the yin and yang symbol. Of course, this is the masculine energy. This is the energy that is action, behavior. It's fire. It is the acting before thinking type card. Again, not on its face a terrible thing, and nothing is bad all by itself. Everything needs context, but we are looking at having taken an action here and having been led to yet another decision, or having to make a decision here after something's already underway. So especially if you feel like you are under the gun or stuck with something, if this is contractual, especially if this is a legal issue, You're going to want to try to disallow for this to go ahead, even if by a week, okay? It is worth mentioning that I think it's the new moon is in Libra, so there could be contractual issues going on this week and not necessarily working out to your highest benefit. So if possible, give yourself another week. Here with the probable outcome is chaos and conflict. Again, on its own, not a horrible thing. Chaos can lead to understanding, or it can lead to a type of settling. You can create something new after a chaos, right? And then conflict really just turns into a sense of reasoning. Someone has to learn something here. This is a conflict. Someone knows something, someone else doesn't, and someone's being brought up to speed, and it benefits everyone. Someone gets to teach, someone gets to learn, someone's worldview is enhanced, the lens through which we view the world is enhanced. So it's ultimately a benefit, but it's going to be uncomfortable, maybe even unsavory. There could be aggression here as well, especially looking at the yang. We're looking at, fire or action energy here, very specifically Yang being the sun and the yin representing the moon. For example, we're looking at masculine energy here, making a move essentially. So again, as I said at the beginning, perhaps you've allowed and accounted for all this, and you knew this was coming, and it's all temporary, and you have your ducks in a row, and this is just part and parcel of getting to the next phase of what you're working on here. If that's the case, continue, because you had already accounted for this. On the other hand, if there's something you're moving forward with and you're making another pros and cons list here, just be aware here that it could be upsetting to someone else. It could be uncomfortable for you, but again, not entirely terrible on its own. It could be an incredible teaching and learning experience here too. So you don't want to avoid it outright just to avoid any conflict, right? I'm just saying, you want to be mindful of how you're moving forward in an action sense here toward a decision that you're either remaking in terms of editing or reframing something, or with something that you're walking away from and choosing a different direction here. You're going to spend a little bit more time in your pros and cons list here. And then ultimately with Milk and Honey, Sagittarius, for your general energy card for the week, you're working under a sense of prosperity and abundance, and a sense of nirvana as well. You feel very positive that outcomes are going to benefit everyone here. You feel very positive that you're getting what you need from this, and that ultimately this will serve you in the future. And you're probably doing what's going on this week from the heart. So again, I'm not cautioning you to stop all activity. I'm not cautioning that you don't take a step or move forward or take a chance, because this really is one of the ways to growth, right? It's sometimes you just have to do it and deal with the consequences. And it can benefit you, and it can benefit the people around you. So really just assess for yourself this week to your highest good. As long as you have some concessions for any chaos and conflict this week, I really think that you're going to be fine. I think just keep going in this direction as long as you're following your heart and your highest good here. Here with gentleness as the deer, as your one of your additional cards to the spread. This is gentleness. This is really... It's sort of the antithesis to this card as well, but it could be that you are put in this position, that you're made to be gentle, or you're being asked to be gentle at this time. More than likely with yourself. Even if you are dealing with other people, it's very unlikely that you're the one who's going to be outright aggressive here. If that's the case, you will want to temper that because you're going to have met your match here. So if you really feel like you're up against someone or working with someone or towards something where another person is involved, or you are relying on yourself right now, and you recognize that chaos and conflict is going to be a part of this, please employ some gentleness both with yourself and the other person. And if gentleness really is just going to look and act like compassion, okay? Another way to frame Deer is to suggest compassion this week. Basically, it'll be that someone is learning something new or something is uncomfortable for someone. And, you know, that's tough. That's tough for everybody, but, you know, we're adults and we can do this. So if you have compassion for yourself, and if you know you're working in your highest energy and toward the highest good here, and you're taking strong and decisive action towards something that you have probably mapped out or planned fairly long term for here, I'm really strongly suggesting you've accounted for this, and you're just going to want to be patient and gentle with yourself at this time, okay? Here with surrender and release as your final card. Really great to see this, frankly. Surrender all fear and release the need to exact outcomes, okay? You are working at your highest energy here. You want to release the need to control outcomes. You know, be gentle with yourself, understand and appreciate that you can handle everything that comes your way, and surrender the fear here, okay? If that's at all going through your mind, surrender any fear, release any negative energy, or especially if anyone's coming at you, or if you're doing this to yourself, you want to just say, you know what, I release this negativity with love, and I'm moving on in the highest direction for myself and everyone involved. So just appreciate that you're making a really big decision, a really big move here. Could be uncomfortable. It's probably been accounted for. Be gentle with yourself and compassionate with the people around you this week, and absolutely demand it as well. Okay, Sagittarius, this might not be an easy week for you, so you're going to need to be around compassionate and caring people. So really look for that and count on that this week, and then work to your highest good under the umbrella of Nirvana. I really think this is going to turn out to be a beautiful week for you, especially after you've conquered this bit of chaos and conflict. So if you have a second, comment below. I love hearing from you. And if you're not already, you can subscribe to my channel. It is free to do that, and then you can become aware of all your weekly videos and then upcoming videos that I'll be doing face to face with you very shortly. So thanks so much for sticking around. Take good care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.